Hey guys, my name's Miranda. Happy Tuesday. Yes, it's not a Monday. I'm sorry. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the best series in the history of all time, Percy Jackson and the Olympians by Rick Riordan. I'm just gonna let you guys know right now, I'm not gonna slap the title of a review on this video because this isn't a review. It's just me talking about how much I love Percy Jackson for 7 or 8 minutes. This video is going to have 2 different parts to it. The first part is kind of going to be an overall outlook on the series, and that is not going to have spoilers. And then the second part I will have spoilers because I have some tea that I need to talk about, but I will give a spoiler warning later on in the video as well, so you guys don't have to worry about that. Those of you who don't know what Percy Jackson and the Olympians is about, it is by the author Rick Riordan. It is a middle grade fantasy series, and it's set in a world where Greek mythology is alive and real. So there are gods in this, of course, heroes, titans, all of the monsters like cyclopses and naiads. And then there are demigods, which are part god, part human, and our main character, Percy Jackson, is one of them. He is the son of Poseidon. So Percy goes on all of these adventures with his friends. I think one of my favorite parts of the whole series is the fact that even though it is middle grade, I enjoyed it as almost an adult. Wow, that's really weird to say. I'm almost an adult. What? A lot of middle grade books and book series are middle grade because they're easier to read, basically. With Percy Jackson, it is easier to read, but at the same time, the whole entire time you're learning so much information, and it makes it that much more exciting and engaging. And I also really enjoyed the humor. I really liked how innocent and wholesome Rick Riordan's humor was, because in a lot of young adult books, you really can't get humor like that. So I enjoyed the energy. I felt like the whole series was so alive, and even a lot of books nowadays that I read that are like young adult or even adult books, they don't have that youth and that thriving energy to him. They're just kind of there. He wrote from his heart, and you could really see that throughout the whole entire thing. I would say overall my favorite book definitely was The Battle of the Labyrinth, which is the 4th book. I originally thought that I was going to enjoy Sea of Monsters more than all of them because for some reason I really enjoy books that are about voyages through the ocean and going on adventures. Voyage of the Dawn Treader in Narnia. I just loved how much we got to know the characters in the 4th book. The 1st book was actually really good too. The series definitely improves as it goes on. The only reason I didn't enjoy the last book as much as the 4th one was because it was all a battle, and like the whole time I just wanted to see what would have ended up happening to the characters, seeing who was the hero. So in the 5th book my mind was full of that, but in this 4th book I just loved the adventure and just seeing the heart and the truth to the characters in this book. This whole series was so good. I feel like this series is a book series anybody can enjoy no matter their age, no matter what kind of books they like, just because it is full of everything. It was just a very, very well-crafted series, and I recommend it for everyone, obviously. Okay, now time for the spoiler part, so if you want to watch it, keep watching. If you don't want to watch it, you don't have to watch, you know? Anyway, let me tell you, I can't even remember exactly what happens in order, so I'm just gonna randomly talk about things. Okay, throughout the whole entire series, I had so many mixed feelings with Annabeth and Luke's relationship, because at first I genuinely hated Luke. I actually really liked him before we found out he was bad, but then after the 1st book, I literally, like the 2nd and 3rd book, I hated Luke with a passion. I did not like him. He could go away forever. Even with Annabeth, how much she adored him and looked up to him, even though he was basically really, really evil. Later on though, especially in the last book, this hit me a lot in the last book because I was just so mad at Annabeth. Then I realized, well, okay, Miranda, what if you were in Annabeth's shoes? What if one of your best friends you grew up with and you trusted for years and years of your life, and they helped raise you and they fought battles for you, and then what if all of a sudden they decided to take the wrong path, right? Like, I would still have hope that they would turn away, and that's what Annabeth had. She basically just wanted him to realize what he was doing and she was just a vessel for him, even though he was evil. Like, it was really, it's kind of hard to explain what I'm thinking. Eventually, I ended up realizing, like, Annabeth kind of is justified in what she's doing and her feelings, because you can't just take away someone you grew up with. Like, that's just really, really hard to stop feeling the way you were feeling before. So I understood her later on, and man, let me just tell you, the fact that Luke ended up being the hero, that shook me to the core. I honestly was so... I thought it was super cool. I thought it was honestly probably the coolest thing that happened. It was the coolest twist in this whole entire series, because Luke, literally everybody knew, was like, oh, he's one of the antagonists. But then he ended up flipping around and not being the antagonist anymore, and ended up saying the whole entire universe, basically. That's basically what he did. It was just very unique to see, because I don't think I've ever read a book in which one of the worst characters ends up having a change of heart and ends up changing the world because of that. Like, it was very, very cool, and Rick Riordan did an excellent job developing that. Also, like, let's talk about Rachel for a hot second. Like, who is she? At first, I mean, when we first meet her, we obviously know she's mortal, but then later on, I was beginning to think she was a demigod without realizing it. At one point, I thought she was Apollo's daughter for some reason. I don't even remember why. Why did I think that? And then I realized, oh, she's still just mortal. Like, are you kidding me? Like, and then she decided to become the Oracle, and I'm just... what? I actually did not like Rachel the minute I met her, though, because I knew, like, you're gonna make Annabeth jealous, and I'm not okay with that. Especially the summer in which her and Percy became like super good friends and they hung out all the time, and then Rachel had the audacity to kiss Percy. Like, I'm just so angry and upset. But then she ended up being the Oracle, and then Annabeth and Percy are now together, so everything's all good, right? And now I still have to read The Last Hero. I loved how developed all of the Greek mythology was in the books. Like, literally all of the little details were correct. Like, I was looking up things to see, like, oh, is this actually real? Is this actually what some of the Greeks believed? And it was like spot on. So I just thought it was super cool to see that, especially with Daedalus and Icarus. That was also in Battle of the Labyrinth, and I think that probably played into why I liked that book so much, because it had so many stories mixed in with Percy's tale. So anyways, I just can't wait to read the other series. I think I am going to end up reading all of them, just because I enjoyed Percy Jackson so much. Also, I love Apollo. Just saying. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna stop this video here. I kind of have rambled on for a while, so yeah, if any of you guys have ever read the series and want to talk to me about it, like, please let me know. Whether you didn't like it or did like it, I don't care. Like, just comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Please be safe, make good choices, and I'll see you next, hopefully Monday. Woo!